Shake and mix antigens well before dispensing. Slide screen method. Place 1 drop of positive control onto a reaction circle of the glass slide. Place 50 microliters of physiological saline onto the next reaction circle of the glass slide. Place 1 drop of patient serum to be tested onto each of the required number of reaction circles. Add 1 drop of O antigen suspension to the reaction circles containing positive control and physiological saline. Add 1 drop each of the antigen suspensions, that is O, H, AH, and BH to the reaction circles containing the patient's serum. Mix contents of each circle uniformly over the entire circle with separate mixing sticks. Rock the slide gently back and forth and observe for agglutination macroscopically at 1 minute. Interpretation of results. Observe for agglutination or formation of clumps in the wells. Compare it with the positive control. Agglutination is a positive test result and indicates presence of the corresponding antibody in the patient's serum. Absence of agglutination is a negative test result and indicates that the corresponding antibody is not present in the patient's serum. As the test wells show, agglutination with O and AH antigens, the corresponding antibodies, namely Salmonella paratyphi O and H antibodies, are present in the patient's serum. Hence, the infecting organism is Salmonella paratyphi A. Third, take appropriate number of sets, 1 set for each antigen suspension of 8 Kahn tubes or test tubes, and label them 1 to 8. Pipette 1.9 milliliters of physiological saline into tube number 1 of all sets. To each of the remaining tubes, that is 2 to 8, add 1 milliliters of physiological saline. To tube number 1 of all sets, add 0.1 milliliters of serum sample to be tested and mix well. Transfer 1 milliliters of the diluted serum sample from tube number 1 to tube number 2 and mix well. Transfer 1 milliliter of the dilute serum sample from tube number 2 to tube number 3 and mix well. Continue the serial dilution till tube number 7 in each set. Discard 1 milliliter of the diluted serum from tube number 7 of each set. Now, the dilutions of the serum sample achieved from tube number 1 to 7 respectively in each set is as follows: 1:10, 1:20, 1:40, 1:80, 1:160, 1:320, 1:640. Tube number 8 in all the sets serves as a saline control. To all the tubes, that is 1 to 8 of each set, add 1 drop of the respective well-mixed antigen suspensions from the reagent vials and mix well. Cover and incubate overnight at 37 degrees centigrade. After incubation, dislodge the sedimented button gently and observe for agglutination. Interpretation of result. The tube test measures the titer of antibodies present in the patient's serum. Titer is defined as the concentration of an antibody determined by finding the highest dilution of serum at which it is still able to cause agglutination of the antigen.